By the way, this is a man called Dwayne Gresky. I want you to see what he said. They said to him, this was the greatest hockey player, he's a Canadian. He's the greatest hockey player in the world. He has more awards than anybody who has ever lived. He's retired now. They asked him, how did you become so successful? This is his answer. He says, most hockey players, in hockey they use what is called a puck, not a ball. A puck is round, but it's flat. Am I making sense? He said, most players skate to where the puck is. I skate to where the puck is going. Do you know where the puck in this country is going? Do you know where it's going? The true ability of a successful company is to skate to where the industry is what? Going. That's positioning. Ladies and gentlemen, that's positioning. It's knowing where things are going and going there to wait for your own. And my prayer for you is that your eyes will be open. Amen? And I would love to show you one video, but I can tell you what it is without showing it to you. It's this famous Jeff Bezos who says everybody is always asking him, what changes are coming? He says, I believe, maybe you should play it. He says, I believe they're asking the wrong question. Let's play it for the sake of those people who might find it a little bit. It's Jeff Bezos, it's a big screen. It's not an Instagram post, that's it.
We very frequently get the question, what's going to change in the next 10 years? And that is an interesting question. It's a very common one. I almost never get the question, what's not going to change in the next 10 years? And I submit to you that that second question is actually the more important of the two. Because you can build a business strategy around the things that are stable in time. And so as you pointed out, in our retail business, we know that customers want low prices. And I know that's going to be true 10 years from now. They want fast delivery. They want vast selection. It's impossible to imagine a future 10 years from now where a customer comes up to me and says, Jeff, I love Amazon. I just wish the prices were a little higher. I love Amazon. I just wish you delivered a little more slowly. Impossible. And so the effort that we put into those things, spinning those things up, we know the energy we put into it today will still be paying dividends for our customers 10 years from now. And so those, when you have something that you know is true, even over the long term, you can afford to put a lot of energy into it. On AWS, the big ideas are also pretty straightforward. It's impossible for me to imagine that 10 years from now, somebody is going to say, I love AWS, I just wish it were a little less reliable. Or I love AWS, I just wish you would raise prices. It should be a little more expensive. Or I love AWS, and I wish you would innovate and improve the APIs at a slightly slower rate. None of those things you can imagine. And so the big ideas in business are often very obvious, but it's very hard to maintain a firm grasp of the obvious at all times. But if you can do that, and continue to spin up those flywheels, and put energy into those things, as we're doing with AWS, over time, you build a better and better service for your customers on the things that genuinely matter to them.
Okay, I'm going to close now. I haven't told you that things are changing. I also want to draw your attention to the things that don't change. Don't change. The problem is that if you are not getting it right when things were bad, no matter how you position yourself, am I making sense? You'll still fail. Whenever I'm going out with Allah or I'm going out with anybody driving me, I always tell them on the road, it's always so funny to me. I even had a driver who had an Okada. And when we are going in town, he keeps harassing Okada drivers, nearly hitting them. So I looked at him one day and I said to him, and he found it very difficult to believe. I said, human beings are more important than cars. In Nigeria, because you have a car, you think you are better than somebody. Sam tells this story. He goes to America to see a friend of his. And they go shopping. Now, if you ever been to an American mall, this compound is not as big as an American supermarket. This compound. I didn't say this hall. I said this compound. So the car parks are usually like 5-6 times the size of the mall itself. So they're coming out of the mall, and you know what Sam does? His friend walks forward, Sam stops, and looks left, and looks right, and looks left again. His friend had to go and drag him, say, Moto on you. The minute you put your leg on the road in America, anywhere, the cars stop. In Nigeria, put your leg on the road. That's when he will accelerate. Value. Am I making sense? Now, if you go to a shop, there's a shop, I don't want to call the name of the shop because I really hate the shop. You go to the shop, you want to buy something, they're following you around as if you're a thief. And then when you want to pay, they will give you a brown piece of paper, tell you to go and pay. And then come back with the receipt to collect what you paid for. Kini Moshe. Somebody will literally be following you around the shop. Then you go to another shop where they can tell you, sit down, what do you need? I don't know if you get the bottom. I need 2 tablets of Panadol, I need this, and he goes to bring this. Is this what you want? No problem. I'll take your card, sir. I'll go do it on the POS. I'll give it back to you. Which one will you go to, even if one was more expensive than the other? What is talking about? There's some things that never change. If you don't have it incorporated in your business, change as much as you like, you will still fail in this new season. So I want to leave that with you. We are a country that doesn't value human beings. They said, I told them in service, they said, one guy said to me one day, don't die a poor man's death. Die a rich man's death. I said, what is a rich man's death? They said, die in a plane crash. A poor man's death is Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Shows you how we value people. Have you noticed that when people die in a plane crash, the whole country goes haywire? Abi? Oh, what happened? What did the pilot do? What airline is this? They killed this person, they did that. Because most of the people in the plane are rich people, because they can afford it. But the same set, if not more, people die every day on the expressway, and nobody gives it any attention. Have you noticed that nothing has been done about the expressway? And the day we don't value human life, our country will not get better. But how does it start? It starts by you valuing human beings. Bow your heads. My help has come. 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 I want you to say that. My help has come. I see him. I recognize him. I make room for him in my life. I make room for him in my ministry. I make room for him in my heart. My Ebenezer is here. My stone of help. I will not stumble this year. I will run and I will not faint. I will be strong. The Lord himself will direct my steps. The Lord will illuminate my mind. His light will shine in my understanding. Wisdom will be pleasant to me. Yea, I will be an inventor of great things. And I will promise now that I will give him all the praise